All right, brother. Hello, mate. All right?
You all right? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, mate. Can you hear me?
Yep, all good. Is that clear enough?
Hear me now?
Is that all clear? Is that clear enough?
It is, mate. Quite bangy, you know, when you bang your chair, like, but, you know.
I'll sit as good as I possibly can. That's it.
Oh, mate. How's it going? You all right?
Yeah, good, mate. Fighting a good fight as always.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, it's been hard. It's been hard. I had a tough week last week, if I'm honest. Like I say, getting my head around things. I think it's just that it's actually quite hard motivating yourself every day, knowing you're not taking any money.
Yeah, let's go and make no money. Yay.
So I think it's just that daily challenge, isn't it? I mean, there's probably a lot of stuff we're going to probably talk about today, but that was I found it tough last week. I had a couple of bad days last week, but I got through it. I dealt with it and sorted it all out. But
Yeah.
it is challenging, mate, isn't it? It's mad. I'm quite excited about it. I mean, I'm back to normal today, which is cool, and stuff like that. And just
Are you finding you're doing it like you one day up, one day down, up, down?
No, because I think because I go hell for leather for so many days in a row, and it maybe towards the end of the week I'd starting to flatten out a little bit, if that makes sense. So Thursday and Friday, it seems like fucking I've worked well up. You're in the office from 6, you don't go home till 6 or whatever, and it's like, what have I achieved today? But I know I'm getting somewhere because my pipeline's really strong. The minute my door's open, I'm feeling really positive about that.
Yeah.
And I even sat down with my project manager today and we went through all the jobs, how they're going to start. And it was actually quite a nice list. I can now start going, right, do you want this date? Do you want this date? Do you want this date? I can now start doing that. And customers are coming, they're booking appointments to come to the showroom now, which is obviously making a big difference. So that's making me feel a lot better. So, yeah, no, all good. Just like I say, same as you, really. I probably, it's fighting the fight every single day, isn't it? There's people that are earning money still. There are people that are doing okay in this time, and fair play to them, obviously. But there's people like us that have been hit hard.
Yeah. I spoke to a good friend of mine today, and he's in the t-shirt printing business, but not like the odd one or two. We're talking like 1,000 units a day they're doing at the moment, and he's just like, mate, my manager's not coming in because he's scared of COVID. My team, they can't interact. Like he's got the other end of the spectrum where he can't make enough money because he ain't got the systems working properly and stuff. And I'm just like, so I was chatting to Chloe about it. I was like, I don't know well, I do know which one's worse. The one where you can't make money because there's no money to be made. That's like, so, but he just looked really stressed out. And I was like, oh, I'd rather be stressed that way. Just like, oh, we've got to like move around. So yeah, I'm the same, Gaz, at the minute, man. It's just like, if it wasn't for the laughter, just something to just get my teeth into and just go with, then I don't know what we'd be doing, mate, because it's like the business is just literally someone just gone.
No, what I say, don't be a goose, is like I say, has been my little outlet as well.
Yeah.
Making the videos in the mornings and just doing that, getting back into my self affirmations, which I've always done anyway. But I think because I stopped videos, well, as you know, what happened with my life at the end of last year, and then it really compiled up for me. So I literally disappeared from social media as I did. And so I think being back on social media and putting my face out there and making myself more accountable that way, that's really helped. Obviously speaking to you guys more, just engaging more and all that sort of stuff. I think that's just been a big asset. But I know what you mean, though. Like I say, the laughter thing just gives you something to look forward to, doesn't it?
Definitely, mate. Definitely. And it's just that, I had my first paid gig this week, like online gig. And I was just like, brilliant, 120 quid. All right, it was only 120 quid, but for 20 minutes of something that I love doing. And, and then there's other people that are just sort of reaching out and stuff now. And it's just like, actually, I think the big thing right now is like owners of companies with employees are starting to get a bit more aware of the wellness of their team. And because, we're all in our four walls, aren't we? Some of us are lucky. We've got a bit of grass maybe outside or, a bit of open space, whereas others are just in these little flats and stuff. And that's, Yeah, it's going to be interesting, mate. So basically, right. So the game plan. I'm just going to ask some questions. And hopefully we can dive deep, mate, as deep as you want to give, really.
Yeah, well, I'm good. You know me. I've worked with heart on my sleeve, so I've got nothing to hide. I'm quite good with it. It's just how much you want to hear, I suppose, to a certain degree. So I suppose if it feels like it's waffling or you'll move it on, just move it on, I suppose.
Yeah, perfect, mate. Happy days. So and perfect. So what I'll do then, I'm just going to introduce us. I'm not doing Facebook Live. I'm just going to do it on this. It's behind closed doors, basically.
And then what we do with this is this like, because this is just me. So Don't Be a Goose is just part of me. Gary Fullwood Design Living, that's part of me. So yeah, so it's
your
sort of
story.
everything really. Okay.
Yeah, it's your story, and it's I'm just gonna dive, because you said something to me once that you probably, till I remind you of it and introduce me to somebody that then moved me into a different world, and that's sort of where we're going to go with this a little bit. So
Okay.
but hopefully you'll remember that. We'll see. Perfect. So today I am very honored to have Gary Fullwood, who is an author. He's also the owner of Fullwood Bathrooms and Kitchens and Bathrooms. No.
Gary Fullwood Design Living. I used to be the owner of Watford Bathrooms and Kitchens. That's where that's come from. All right. So we've rebranded, remember?
So we'll restart that again then. So it's like, done my homework, haven't I? You
Gary Fullwood Designed Living.
You can tell it's Bank Holiday Monday, can't you? Gary Fullwood Design and Living. Designed Living. Perfect. Right.
Take two.
Okay. So perfect. I am. Bear with me, man. Bear with me.
That's all right. I'm all there. Don't worry.
All right, mate. It's all right.
This is why live is so good.
Yeah, completely. Yeah.
Live, you don't feel obliged to start again.
Yeah.
I know that sounds really silly, and I know I've been doing more videos than lives, but you don't. When you do live, you just go for it. If you make a fuck up, you just keep going with it. But
Definitely.
Now you feel like, well, I've got to get it right. I've got to get the wording right. I've got to speak right. I've got to get the spelling right.
It's true, mate. It is true. I think the thing with the live side, I was like, and also I can't do live by the looks of it. You nearly prompted me just to do that then, just go live. But I'm looking and I can't see it. So which might mean that we get cut off halfway through this as well. But we'll see. We'll see how we go, man. So today, I'm very, very honoured to be with a very good friend of mine. I've known him for quite a few years now. He's nodding his head, which is always a good sign. So Gary Fullwood, who is from Gary Fullwood Designed Living.
Yep.
And also an author of Don't Be a Goose, which is a very, very good book. And we're going to touch on that, I'm sure, Gary. So Gary, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing really good, mate. Really excited about this, actually. Smiling already.
Perfect. A smile is a good start, mate. It's a good start. So, Gary, let's start by just introducing yourself a little bit to the audience.
Hi there. So I'm Gary Fullwood from Gary Fullwood Design Living, as Pete said. Yes, I'm the author of a book, Don't Be a Goose, which I'm very, very proud of. So thanks for having me, Pete.
No worries. So tell me a little bit about what makes you tick, your story. Tell me a bit. Let's start with the beginning of the book. That's probably a good start.
I suppose, it all starts a little bit from much further back, if I'm honest, if we go a little bit deeper. So it all starts probably from childhood and school, really, for me. Throughout school, I was always told that I wouldn't amount to nothing. I was a waste of space. I was never going to be able to achieve anything. I was always being told just give up, Gaz. You're not going to get it. You can't do it, and you're just a little shit. Nothing's going to happen. So a lot of that. So I've got a lot of setbacks from not being able to make school football teams, and not being able to make athletics, and all that sort of stuff. And it was just throughout all that time, it was always a matter of, no, I'm going to prove you wrong. I can do it. Yes, I can do this. Yes, I can achieve that. I don't care what you think. And I think it all stems from that a little bit. A lot of my stuff comes from my childhood, which obviously was why I put a lot of it in the book, because it gave me that never give up attitude, really. That's what really drives me forward. Even up to through as we got to later stages, as I got expelled from school. So they were right a little bit there, but it still didn't stop me from wanting to achieve what I did. School wasn't right for me; it didn't work for me. But even when I went up to work, I was in the back. I went to go to college. I thought this is really cool. I was plastered as labourer to start with, and he said, "Gaz, you need to get out of this." Really good friend of mine said, "Please get out of this industry. You don't want to be here. You need to be doing something better for yourself." So I went to see a college, had an interview with a college, and I wanted to get into computers, because at that sort of time, computers had started to really take off. And I thought, yes, let's go and build computers and get into computers. I can do that. And I went to the college and I spoke to him about that, and he went, "No, you got no hope, Gaz. You're not clever enough." I went, "Pardon?" Not clever enough, mate. So I'm a 16, 17-year-old boy wanting to better myself, trying to get on the ladder of doing something. And they basically said, "No, you ain't got a hope in hell getting a college course. You have to just go and get a job." And the really funny thing is that the guy who told me to go and see the college and get out of plastering was then on the dole, went down the dole office and asked them if he could go on a computer course. So we're talking a 27-year-old man. And they went, "Yeah, no, right, it's a 3-year course, okay?" So 16, 17-year-old lad wanted to sort of better himself, no chance. 26, 27-year-old on the dole just got handed a 3-year course in computers. It was quite ironic. But yes, then I ended up in the back of a bathroom warehouse. I got a job in the back of the bathroom warehouse. But even from that point, I was so determined not to be a warehouse boy. I knew I was destined for better things, greater things. I always had that belief in myself. I've always have done that. So I just become the best bathroom warehouse person that you could possibly be. I learned it all. I thrived in it and I smashed it. I was awesome at it. The company become very dependent on me just as a warehouse boy. But I kept nagging and pushing to get onto the shop floor and move myself forward. And I did. After nagging and moving forward, I ended up getting a couple of hours on a weekend. Then I become a full weekend lad. Then I got become full-time sales assistant manager. It just sort of developed, really. I just really did push myself and just constantly learn and taught myself how to be better at this job. I discovered that I was good at something. I could achieve better things and just push myself forward. And that led me into obviously being headhunted a lot through shops and running other showrooms until the opportunity came to sort of own my own business.
So where you said you sort of always wanted to better yourself, and where do you think that spark came from?
Do you know, I honestly couldn't tell you. I think it's just that thing. I think it's that little bit inside you when someone tells you can't do something or you won't be able to do it. You sort of you set on a path to just prove someone wrong. I honestly can't tell you where that spark come from. When it's coming as determination, it could stem from watching my mum raise 4 children all on her own, working 3 jobs and making sure we always had everything that we ever wanted. Maybe it stemmed from that. I can't tell you, but I've just never ever give up. I'm a very all or nothing personality. If I want to do something, I will go for it. I won't do anything half-heartedly. So I can't tell you where that fire comes from, but I just keep growing it and developing it as the years have gone by.
I think you might have said it there though, but seeing your mum raise four children, working 3 jobs, maybe thinking, well, actually, you wanted maybe a better way for yourself, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a big goal with me to, whether rightly or wrongly, but to be the supplier for my family. I'd love to be able to go, there you go, sister, there you go, brother, there you go, mum, there you go, dad. I feel that weight on my shoulders quite a lot, and it is a driver for me. It's an emotional driver that I always look at and aspire to do for my family.
Okay, so family's obviously a big part of your life then, and it's I mean, are you happy to discuss sort of what happened recently with regards to family?
Um, yeah, yes. Well, I've had quite a lot of traumatic things happen to me in my life over the last few years, and it's been tough. I lost my little cousin, 10 years old, of cancer, fighting that. So I lost him 3 years ago, just literally a month ago. So 3 years, 1 month ago. So yeah, so that was a tough time. And then, yeah, like I say, getting your feet, getting yourself back up, get over that, and you never get over it. But you've got to realise how short life is to a certain degree, and you need to push forward. I mean, Ozzy was a big inspiration for me. They're a massive part of why I wrote "Don't Be a Goose." A massive part of why I got my arse into gear and pushed myself when I was flat on my arse in 2014. Yeah, and then literally November last year, I lost my little brother. Which was a massive. Got me now, Pete. It was a very traumatic experience for me. My brother he was my bodyguard. He was my little brother, but he was my big brother. He was everything to me. He was the rock for our family in terms of the brew, dare I say. He was my sister calls in the Rottweiler. I was called the Chihuahua, so that just sums us both up really. But yeah, no, but he gave me the confidence to be a bit more bold in myself, because if you were going to mess with me, you had to mess with my brother. I knew that if anyone felt that they could do something to me, my brother would always be there, and no chance. You got no hope. You got to go. If you're going through me, you're going for my brother, and that wouldn't have been a nice thing for anyone. Because so it was a massive. It was a shock. It was obviously a shock. It wasn't. Wasn't something that was a terminal ill thing. So yeah, so that was something that me and my family have obviously had to deal with, and it took the wind out of my sails, dare I say. It's obviously, and I'm going to talk about that with you with habits and stuff later. But
well, that's sort of what I wanted to sort of talk about really then, Gary, because obviously if those are a couple of they're massive things that have happened, and for you to then overcome that, obviously it's still there, of course it is, but what was the trigger that went, well, actually I need to start getting onto this daily habit rituals again and getting into the place where I need to be?
It was a couple of things. I mean, the problem I found was and I'm sure a lot of people who've been through this sort of experience would have the same thing, is I was scared to get on with my life, because if by getting on with my life and doing the things I enjoy meant it felt like I was forgetting my brother, or I don't know how to explain it really, but it was just, there was just something that was just, it was stopping me. It was a fear really of that if I moved on, if I went on social media and people see that I was having fun or I was doing something, I was smiling, that meant that I weren't grieving for my brother. That was something I had to face. The second thing was obviously my business was starting to fail again, because I disappeared off the face of the earth. My staff didn't know what was going on. I couldn't speak to people. I couldn't bring myself to come to work. I was crying daily, and it was really, really hard. And I felt I had to be there for my family. So I had to sort of just engage myself, and obviously with some very close friends, you included, with all the support that I had in terms of just, we're here for you. You need to move forward. You need to move forward. Your brother wouldn't want this, all that sort of stuff. And I think just slowly, you start to realise I have got to make these steps. I've got to make these leaps, and that's when I started doing the self affirmations again, and just getting forward without the video. And then that's when I embraced social media again to get back into that, because so my business needed me, and so did my friends, and so did my family, so I had to really just, I don't know, I just had to, something I had to embrace and face, it was, and since I've done that, I haven't looked back.
Yeah, that's amazing, mate. That's amazing. So, I mean, so for those people maybe that are listening that don't know what affirmations are, because it's a word that sometimes doesn't mean something to people. How would you explain an affirmation?
An affirmation for me is telling myself how great I am, how amazing I am, telling me how proud I should be of what I've achieved and what I have around me, telling me I have the power to achieve anything. That gives me that pure self-belief. And them affirmations can be wherever they could be in different situations, telling people, I tell myself I'm going to be successful, I'm going to achieve all my goals, I'm going to, I've got my vision wall that I look at every day, so affirmations are just making sure that I'm telling myself and building my confidence, my self-belief up to push forward and achieve my goals and my dreams.
And can you remember maybe what the affirmation was this morning, or what's there present at the moment in the mind, if you could quickly fly one out?
So my affirmation this morning was about being focused, stay focused on, because I had this mind block about I've not been doing much fitness lately, but the problem is I'm putting all my heart and soul into my business at the moment, because obviously the times we're in, I need to be 100% focused on my business, so that the fitness just has to take a bit of a side step at the minute and just be a little it's just there in the background, basically. So my affirmation is more about staying focused and keeping the belief in the fact that business is what I need to do. I need to be doing this 100%. I need to be giving it everything I've got at this moment in time, because every day by doing this, I'm getting closer to my goals and my dreams. If I was to only put 25% of myself into my fitness now and 75% into the business, that's not helping me get closer to my goals. And they were my self-affirmations this morning, funny enough.
Perfect. And then for those listening that don't know who Gazza Bounce is, do you want to just do a little, how do you kick off your affirmations? How do you start your videos when you go live?
My videos are, it's Gazza Bounce time, share my dose of positive attitude, and whatever the mind can conceive and believe, you can achieve. So yeah, there you go. But that's it. That's what it's about. It's about, whatever your mind can conceive and believe, you can achieve it. Just, there's no barriers. It's the only barrier and the only blockade is you. You're the only person. And our minds are very powerful things, and it's something you have to overcome. But yeah, it's the Gazza Bounce is just, they're my self affirmations. That's what gets me going, it gets me smiling, it gets me laughing, and it makes other people laugh as well, and that's all that matters.
Well, I just think it's that, it's what you're doing there as well. When you do that little bit at the beginning, that's you just programming your head space to go, right, this is it, this is me doing this, and it's a pre-trigger, I think, for the affirmation that you're about to go through, because when you say that all the time. Similar when I do, it's Pete Cann, if Pete can, you can. It's the same trigger, isn't it, really? To say, look, this is, ultimately, I suppose similar, Gav, we've sort of got a sort of similar upbringing to a point. We've spoken about things that we've done in the past and the paths we've been down, but ultimately we both believe in positive headspace, affirmations. You covered visualization, like a vision board, vision wall, and I'd love you to sort of go there a little bit if possible as well.
Yeah, no, like I say, it is good. And like I said, I think from the minute that affirmation comes up, that's when my day starts, really. Although there are a few things I do before that, but the minute I've got that out of my system, the minute I've really reassured myself of that affirmation that I want to talk about during that day, that's where I've made myself accountable, and that's when I go, right, my day starts now, I'm going to have an amazing day.
Perfect. And then, so like I say, with the visualization side of things as well. So do you have vision boards or anything like that?
Yeah, I've got vision boards. I've got a big, massive whiteboard in my office with literally all the sort of goals. They're like my life goals, my personal goals, my personal drive, my emotional drivers, my dream house, my dream car, my dream holidays, the exciting things I want to do in life. So there's a big list of everything I want to do and what I want to achieve, and obviously a time frame that I'd like to achieve them in. So, and then there's a few other post-it notes and post-it bits around the house that I get to see in different areas, just to keep reminding me of what I want to achieve and how I want to achieve it. So I do believe in visuals. I do believe if you ever wrote a goal down, it's not a goal, it's a fantasy. So I think it's really important, if you haven't got a picture of something on your wall or somewhere, or it written down, and not just written down in a notepad and shoved to the back of your pile, you have to be able to look at this every single day. It needs to be somewhere where you you enter that room or you see every single day. I always joke about putting my vision wall on the wall opposite my toilet. But my wife won't let me have that. But I just think it's a powerful place to put it, and it's also the funny thing I think about putting that, and that's where the other bits around my house are, because when someone else sees a goal in my house or a vision in my house, they ask about it, and then when someone else is asking about it, it empowers you to talk about it, and it empowers you to keep pushing on, striving to get it. It's real.
Definitely, 100%. And it's so. Tell me a story about one of your previous, where because you change, they change yearly. I'm sure your vision does. So tell me a story about a time when you hit one of your visions.
Cool. So change to happens. I suppose the business. I mean, the business is one of them. And when this all started, owning my own business, because years ago I didn't own my own business. So it was on the wall to become the business owner and own my own business and drive it forward. And obviously the Gary Fullwood Design Living that's now appeared has been a big part of that, because a big part of my goal, this is phase 1, is getting Gary Fullwood Design Living up and running. Then phase 2 of this goal is to endorse other showrooms with the Gary Fullwood logo as such to Gary Fullwood. So this showroom has been endorsed, the customer journey has been endorsed by Gary Fullwood. So they're the sort of dreams I've got. So Gary Fullwood Design Living has been stage 1, and then stage 2, which hopefully will be within the next 2 years, is that I'll be endorsing other showrooms with my customer journey.
Fantastic. So with it, so you had that. Did you have that logo on the wall, or did you have pictures of like what was the vision?
Yeah, it was a logo. It wasn't the exact. Obviously, that come together with the design element as we move forward. But it was just that. It was a picture of a shop with the Gary Fullwood Design Living on it, basically.
Nice. And you feel it then, don't you?
Yeah, it's integral to me, that part, and it's massive. And to be the brand Gary Fullwood is something I am extremely proud of, and something I probably don't, tell myself enough that I should be proud of what I've achieved.
Yeah, definitely. I think you should be really proud of what you've achieved, especially sort of we reverse back to sort of where you're saying at school where you couldn't achieve anything and you wouldn't achieve nothing. Then, I'm sure that's one of the fires that you've got in your stomach that drives you towards, where you're going, really. So
exactly that.
Perfect. So what would you say to, so what sort of people would you recommend people listen to, or audio? Is there any audios, any YouTube videos that you would recommend? Anyone that's not done much of this personal development side of things?
God, there's so many, Pete, as you know, and the list just goes on, doesn't it, for this sort of stuff. So back in my darker days, when I nearly lost a business in 2014, Les Brown was just a hero for me. I think without Les Brown, that would have been life would have been tough, and I think that's true. That was a big part of me, listening to Les Brown. Arnold Schwarzenegger, I love listening to Arnold Schwarzenegger, and he's constantly, he's goal orientated. If you want someone who's going to help you focus on goals, you have to read Arnold Schwarzenegger's big Total Recall. People like Zig Ziglar. I know we're going back years now, but wow, that geezer's legendary. Jim Rohn back in the day. And then recently, Ed Milet. I'm listening to a lot of Ed Milet. Tom Bilyeu, he's brilliant. They're amazing people that I'm listening to at the moment. I do listen to a lot of the Tom Bilyeu stuff. So the list goes on, and I think the thing with audiobooks and with books, you have to find someone who resonates with you. You have to get that, their voice has to really travel through you to sort of really make you engage and listen and think. As soon as you put down that or take them headphones off, you're like, I'm going for it. I need to do that. I need to do this. I need to do that. So there's lots of things like that. And so in terms of audio and books, they're probably some of my favourites. But the list is endless. I read quite a lot and I listen to quite a lot. So.
Perfect. And have you always been a big reader?
Not at school. Not always, no. My reading started about 10 years ago. I think my very first proper book I started to read was Jim Rohn. and it really inspired me. And I just keep pushing forward with that. And I love reading now, so much so that I try to read. I probably read a book every 2 months. I think that's quite good. That's quite an achievement, especially with so much to go on. I try to make sure I read at least 10 pages a day.
Nice. And because the thing is as well, is like, that would be really interesting to try and work out who got you to be reading these sort of books. Was there anybody that you can remember that book? How did that book land on your lap? Who was that person? Because there's always one person that sort of starts that journey.
Yeah, there was one person actually. His name was Jogger, funny enough, and it was from a BNI meeting. But that was just very, like I say, my very early business days. That's when that started. But I think the thing that pushes me forward more, I think the thing that's pushed me so much more, I mean, probably with you as well, which is Nigel Botterill. I mean, you can't not mention the man, if I'm honest with you, because without Nigel, I wouldn't have met you. And there were so many other friends in my life now that are the truest and great friends in my life, that I wouldn't have known today if it wasn't for that man. So he is one of my inspirers. He's my mentor. But it's people, once again, going back to people like you, Pete. When we sit in a room together and you hear what you're reading, so what's he reading and what's he reading, and you surround yourself with so many nice, like-minded people. It's them people that inspire you to read more, because you want to learn more, because you want to better yourself and you want to be better, because you're being better, so I want to be better. And it's that whole radiator thing, isn't it? What I call engines. You're an engine in my life, and I've got loads of engines in my life, and that's the amazing thing. So I think that's what keeps pushing me to read more. And obviously, when you see as well now with Instagram and bits and pieces, like someone puts up a post, I'll finish that book, this book was great. You get that so much more. So you sort of engage and you want to read and want to learn that way. So, but that one person, like I say, 10, 12 years ago, was Jogger, and from BNI.
Yeah, that's fair enough, mate. That's fair enough. It's so I mean, with I'm gonna have to remember what I was about to say. It's fine, I can edit this bit out in a minute. Okay, so you basically mentioned that people, like when you sat in a room and they've finished that book, they've finished this book, and that sort of, I also liken that to a little bit to sort of accountability. And do you have any accountability buddies at all?
Well, I'm in part of a mastermind group, so yes, I have accountability buddies for that. Quite so, but like I say, I do. There's certain people in my life that I've got. Like a friend of mine called Adam. He's a fitness fanatic. He's got not an inch of fat on him. He's like just pure energy. He's nuts. Jumps out of planes. Swims with sharks, all that sort of stuff. But he's amazing. But he keeps me on my toes when it comes to fitness. So he's my accountability guy for fitness. It's funny, and I'm his accountability guy for the business side of things. But I have quite a few people I can call upon. I can speak on. You're part of one of them groups. When we've got a question, you can just chuck a question in a group and it will get answered. So I think it's key to have making people accountable for your actions. But once again, that's what Don't Be a Goose is about for me. So doing the video makes me accountable for myself, because I've put something out there. I've put my affirmation out there for the day and what I want to achieve and stuff. It makes me more determined to achieve it because someone else has watched my video. They've heard me say something. So I don't want to be this person who preaches about something and don't do it. So I'm very, very self-conscious of that. Perfect.
And then, so you said about when you've got groups that you can share certain questions and certain feelings and emotions and stuff. And I mean, how important would you say it is to hang around with people that are like-minded?
Oh, it is one of my top things, basically. Like-minded people, friends in our space, in our mindset, is just the most amazing feeling. It is the best. Without these friends I surround myself with my, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing, because we all push each other. I don't do fluffy. I'm not a fluffy person, even though I've got a nice beard going on at this moment in time. I don't do fluffy, and I like to be around straight talking people. So if I'm putting something out there and they don't think it's right, or I like to be challenged. It's that famous thing, isn't it? If you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. It's just fact. And luckily, I surround myself with great like-minded people that are willing to challenge me on everything I do, and I like that. And I'm the same. I like to challenge my friends on what they're trying to achieve as well. And you just push each other. Like I say, when someone's doing so much better than you, it doesn't make them better than you, but it just aspires you to get to where they are, and you're in awe of what they're achieving, and you just want to get to that space as well. So friends, like-minded friends, are just the most amazing people, and the people that keep me going. And without them, I wouldn't be here today doing what I'm doing.
Perfect. And the other thing, so you mentioned, I'm going to just go back again on this one, mentioned about the mastermind, and some people listening to this again would be like, mastermind? What's a mastermind? So do you want to just let us know what a mastermind is?
A mastermind is generally led by one or two very influential mentors. So they're the sort of the leaders who will lead that group generally. And then what you have is you'll have, say, anything between 5 to 10 other business owners sitting around a table. This takes place every 5 weeks. And where we really we spend 2 full days getting to the nitty gritty of our businesses. So if we've got issues or things we want to achieve, or marketing questions, business questions, number questions, these things all get shared around the table. And you've got anything between 5 to 10 great minds sharing ideas and working on your business and helping you grow. That's what we class as a mastermind meeting. But it's been one of the most powerfulest things I've done over the last sort of 5 years of my life, and it's helped me once again grow my business from a £350,000 business to a £2.2 million business.
Perfect. So you would say, so to sort of recap, that your affirmations are a driver, people you hang around with matters, and mastermind.
They're 3 of the top things, yes, 100%.
Visualization as well. We'll put a 4th in there as well. So you got to know where you're going, because if you don't know where you're going, there's no point in even going there, is there? Really?
Yes,
it's
exactly
just like
exactly.
So let's just quickly touch again. So people who you hang around with really matters. So I'm sure likewise, we used to hang around with other sorts of people in our past. I mean, have you got any stories about maybe how the people you hung around with in the past wasn't congruent with where you wanted to go?
Yeah, definitely. So that's sort of what happened in 2014 with me, whereas I nearly lost my business in 2014. I got to a point, I was a bit of a party boy, enjoyed going out, enjoyed having lots of fun. I'd go out on a Friday, come back on a Sunday. My wife weren't too happy about that. But I surround myself with a lot of people that they work to go out. So they would work all week, get to the end of work and down Friday, and every penny of theirs would be spent on the weekend, and then they'll be skint again on Monday. So I hung around with a lot of people like that who partied hard, and I like to be a part of that. So when I nearly lost my business in 2014, that's when I realised that I had to make some serious sacrifices. I'd lost my wife. I weren't living at home at that time because of all this. I put myself in a dark place. But that's when I had to make some conscious decisions to change that, and that did come down to who I was hanging around with. I had to stop going out. I had to focus on my work. I had to get my wife back. I wanted my home back, so my kids would be at home. So there's a lot of things like that. So, and that's once again, that's where Don't Be a Goose got created, and that's when you started to realise who my friends are. Because I stopped drinking back in 2000, on the 1st of January 2015. I stopped drinking for that purpose, because I thought that'd be a driver for me. If I can stop drinking, that means I'll stop associating myself with going out, and that means I can focus on the right things that are going to help me achieve my goals and move me forward. And that's when I'm doing the affirmations, walking around the park, doing the videos, and then you've got a lot of the friends taking the piss at what I classed as friends, taking the piss out of me. Then you get people go, "You coming out, Gaz?" No. "Oh, look at you, too good for us now. You're a businessman." No. I'm just trying to better myself. I just need to get my shit together and sort my life out. So that's when you really start to realise who your friends are, and who you need in your life and who you don't need in your life. And I really did start to separate, and I took a lot of friends out of my life, a lot of friends. But to be clear, I would never ever change anything that's happened, good or bad, in my life, because it's made me who I am today.
Perfect. So where can anyone reach out to you then, Gaz?
Well, you've got Don't Be a Goose. You can reach out to me there. Gary Fullwood 7 on Instagram. Gary Fullwood Design Living. They're the pieces you can get me if you want to speak to me. I'm everywhere. Type my name into Google. You won't be short of answers from there. I'll tell you that now. My mug will be everywhere.
And what a beautiful mug it is, mate.
Oh, thanks, mate.
So I would personally highly recommend they look up Don't Be a Goose. Definitely go and watch some of your videos, or all of your videos. Just get a bit of Gaz bounce in their lives in the morning, because I think it's a really, really good way of kicking off their day. And Gaz is like, when you came into my life, I just you got that energy, mate. It's amazing. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Thanks, mate. We'll be bouncing off each other. That's the thing. We're two smiley, happy people, mate. It causes havoc in the same room. I know that much.
So, final thought then. What 3 things bring you joy?
Right. So, 3 things. So I'm going to wrap my whole family and my dog into one. Okay. Because that family is one. We are one. So that's one thing. My business brings me so much joy. I love what I do with a passion. I am very proud of what I've achieved, and I love it. I love coming to work every single day. And football. I love football. I miss football. But so my family, my business, and football.
Perfect. Gary, thank you so much for joining me in this this lockdown time, and hopefully I'll be able to give a brother a cuddle at some point soon, mate.
Looking forward to it, man. I need one. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me.
No worries, mate. Cheers, Gat.